Welcome, everyone, to another fantastic fandom episode of the Fandom Effect Podcast. As always, I am the Bushido Geek, the Shogun of Fandom, joined by Sam the Man.
Hi.
And today we are doing another fun Between the Panels, which, if you don't know what that is, Between the Panels is a segment where we pick really anyone from any comic ever, and we just dissect it. Who
And
they
then we talk
are,
about it.
what their powers are, and
Mm-hmm.
then we give them ratings, a personal rating, and that's just kind of as a fan, where do we put them on a scale of 1 to 10, and then how important are they to the universe they belong in
Mm-hmm.
on a scale of 1 to 10. And today we're going back to Marvel, because we still got to do our first independent one, which we'll do soon, but we've done a lot of DC, so we're going Marvel, and because it's the next big movie to come out, we're going Doctor Strange, the
Heck yeah.
Sorcerer Supreme himself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't read a lot of his comics, mainly because up until recently, most of his stuff was like the golden and silver age comics, which, depending on the art style, sometimes it's like harder to read a lot of the older stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't read a ton of his comics, but obviously because of the movies and the TV shows, like I'm fairly familiar with who he is and what his powers are. But he's definitely like, I don't know. There's just so much to him.
Right. And the funny thing is he's actually a lot weaker than what he used to be in the comics. There is two time frames that you talk about Doctor Strange. There's classic Doctor Strange and modern Doctor Strange. Classic Doctor Strange was actually a lot stronger and like a lot more powerful than Doctor Strange in the comics now. They actually nerfed him, and I don't remember what year this was. They nerfed him because his comic sales were actually like trashed. Like
Right.
none of his solo stuff was selling. They like cut it after a couple comics because they weren't selling any of them. The only ones that were selling were like his like team up ones.
Yeah, I think it's because I think it's kind of the same problem that sometimes Superman has, even though his comics tend to do okay. Um, is just because it's so they're either so overpowered that there's almost no suspense because you're like, whatever, they're either gonna win, or in Doctor Strange's case, at least when it came to the earlier version, he can't die. So even if he loses a fight, it's like, oh yeah, but I can just do this thing and then I'm alive again. Or I mean, it can get boring if the person you're trying to read about, there's no conflict for it.
Oh yeah, no, somebody literally called it the Superman effect or something like that because like he's the strongest thing like being out there. There's not much to him. There's not much against him. That's why Marvel was like, we're just gonna yoink some of your powers, some of the abilities you can do to make you more what's the word I'm looking for?
Um, Not grounded, but like,
But yeah, so like that,
um,
make you more like
yeah,
words are hard, folks.
yeah. Um, so I think too, it's just, I don't know. Again, so we're gonna dive into like his first appearances and like stuff and different powers. But do you want to quickly read his bio um, on what he is?
Doctor Strange's bio.
Yes.
The overview on Marvel.com says formerly a renowned surgeon, Doctor Strange now serves as the Sorcerer Supreme, Earth's foremost protector against magical and mystical threats. So the backstory he had in the movie is pretty much the same backstory he has in his comics. He was a brain surgeon that, you know, lost the nerves in his fingers from an accident. And then when he went to go get his fingers fixed, he went to the God, what's her name? Now I sound like an idiot.
On which one again?
What's the bald lady's name in the movie?
Oh, the ancient one.
The ancient one. I was blanking
I mean,
so
unless
hard
she
for
has
a
an
second
actual
there.
name.
No, I was thinking about the ancient one. In the comics, it's the same thing. He went to the ancient one, asked like to fix his fingers, and she was like, "No, because your reasons are selfish. You just want for you. You want your fingers fixed for you. So instead, we're
Yeah.
gonna teach you how to do this." So it's the same thing like back in the comics originally when he became Doctor Strange in the Sorcerer Supreme, as there was in the movie. Like there wasn't much of a difference in that.
Okay. And that's what I kind of seen, but and I mean he's got. I mean again, so Sorcerer Supreme obviously like it's a pretty out there title, but like like I mentioned earlier, like he's got a lot of powers, which we'll dive into some.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and so I mentioned earlier that he can't die, which is true. um, which already is like, well, I mean he can get hurt, but like he apparently like he won a wager with death, and so he just doesn't age anymore, or can succumb to any disease. So you can still kill him, but like as long as he maintains health, he can't really die.
It's like
I
Deadpool.
mean, yeah, like energy blasts, magic projection, astral projection, banishment, conjuration, transmutation, telepathy, telekinesis, flight, which mainly is with the cape primarily. I mean, he can
Well,
do it without it, but
well, all of his like powers and abilities originally stemmed from artifacts that and like things from other planes and dimensions, like the Eye of Agamotto. In the movie, it was the one of the Infinity Stones. This is just a regular Eye of Agamotto because
yeah.
Agamotto was the original Sorcerer Supreme.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's. I mean, again, there's more powers that I could even go into, like manipulation of every kind, spells. I mean, like literally, it's magic. So I mean, if the guy wants to do something, he can just do it
Do
with
it.
magic. Yeah, and you know, I don't know. It's unique. It's in the sense that like, because I think a lot of people always compare Doctor Strange to Doctor Fate because Doctor Fate's like DC's I guess Sorcerer Supreme or
Uh
whatever.
huh.
Um, but I still love it from like the movie when he just uses a time stone to um um oh man,
Mm-hmm.
what word am I trying to think of right now?
Apple.
Yeah, Apple. No, and he's trying to, but when he's bargaining with Dormammu, and he just like
Oh,
keeps going back over and over and over again.
the loop.
Yeah, the endless loop. Um, I think it's I don't know. There's a lot. I mean, like he's in Civil War, World War Hulk, Secret Invasion. I mean, all those are really good comic runs that
He
he's involved in.
he led the original The Defenders.
Yeah, which
So,
almost seems like overpowered. It's like, all right, who else is on the team? No, it's just me.
well,
Like what?
there was more than just him and then the Defenders.
Yeah, but I mean, like, really, was there?
Yeah.
Like, really? Not like really, really. Um, I don't know. There's a lot to him. So I want to mention it now because it's insane. So obviously the more rare, I guess, or not rare, but more popular you go on the person, the more high profile their stuff is. And so it's interesting that you look at it now, and his stuff doesn't really sell that well right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like it hasn't for quite a while. Like because there's been like I think two or three, maybe more different runs of Doctor Strange. Like you can find a lot of issue ones in the last 10 years of like various different runs that they've tried.
Yeah, there's been a handful.
And those are like completely worthless. Like you can buy them for like I mean maybe some of the earlier ones maybe from like the 2000s or so maybe 30 bucks for issue one or whatever. But the first ever appearance of Doctor Strange was in a comic called Strange Tales, which you pointed out was him and the Human Torch,
It's a
and
split book.
he pops in issue 110,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a wide range. So those of you who are into comics know the CGC rankings. If you don't know what that is, CGC is one of the companies that will grade your comic. If you like send in a rare comic that you have, they'll grade it based on the quality, rarity of the comic, blah blah blah, and then they'll give it a grade up to I think 10, 9.9 or 10, I can't remember. And obviously, like, it's one of those things where it's like a 9.9 could be like a ton of money, and then a 9 could be like, even like a 9.9 and a 9 could be the difference of like thousands of dollars. Like, it's literally like the most minor detail can bring you from like a 9 to like a 6 or whatever. So the first appearance of Doctor Strange runs from just shy of 4,000, and that's for like a comic that's probably in rough condition, to something that's in medium condition that's just shy of 23,000. And I looked on a lot of different places, and the highest grade I could find of his first appearance was a 7.5. That's the highest grade I could find anywhere online. So if that's selling for just shy of 23,000, I can only imagine, like, and just
What
as an example,
the 9 is.
right? Because it's an example. So a 6.5 CGC is selling for just shy of 10,000. So for one rank higher, exactly 1.0 rank higher, it's double in price, like a little over double. So 7.5 to 10, I mean, that could be like $50,000-$60,000,
Right.
if not more,
Right.
for like a perfect condition of. But I mean, I guess that's hard to find. I mean, the comic came out in '63. How many
Exactly.
how many people out there got a comic in '63 and then were like, "Let me
I'm
preserve you forever."
going to keep you in this plastic bag and never touch you again.
Like, I still don't like. I mean, there's definitely games and toys like that. I look back, like, I just sold like some like, not rare comics and some old like Xbox games that weren't worth anything to like a half price bookstore, and got like nothing. Like, I could have individually sold, like, I could have brought the comics to a comic book store, could have brought the games to a used game store, and like I could have sold everything in its unique place and probably gotten a lot more. But I was like, I don't have time to drive to 3 different places. So I just went to one and
Okay.
got like no money for it.
Now
But
look what you've done.
I know. I'm never gonna go there again to sell that stuff. But hey, lesson learned. But I look
Mm-hmm.
back and never. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I had rare comics. I don't remember the comics I had as a kid. But there's definitely games that I've had. Like, it's an old PS2 game. It's like, it was supposed to be the sequel to Baldur's Gate, and I had it. And Baldur's Gate in itself is not worth anything because it's so popular, they keep reproducing it. Like, now it's
Mm-hmm.
on Steam and Switch and blah blah blah. But I think the sequel was called Champions of Norath, and if you have it for PS2, it's worth like 60-70 bucks. And I like remember I had it at one point and like lent it to a friend, and then we weren't friends anymore, and I don't know where it is at this point. Who knows?
Oh, now look what you've done.
But it's like the same thing with comics. Like, my dad used to have a huge collection of like old Conan the Barbarian and He-Man stuff, like from the Silver Age,
Oh.
from like the '60s and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Look at it. Look, his mask is covered up. You see that?
and yeah, and he was telling me, like, he's like, yeah, I never really like. He put him in the basement, and like they got yellow and all that stuff, and I never looked into like what they were. Like, they could have been worthless regardless. But like, you think about that stuff, it's like if you had remotely preserved that, it's like, it's insane. I never understand how someone can buy it. Like, because back then, that's when comics were essentially like really first coming out.
Uh-huh.
There wasn't this atmosphere of like comic book collecting. It was just, here's a thing called comics.
They're here to pass the time.
Yeah, and so I'm amazed when people are like, yeah, I have this first appearance of Doctor Strange from 1963 in almost perfect condition. Dear God, how?
Right.
Like, like, that's like that. This was yours in your entire life, or like, oh, it was my dad's, or, and I'm like, how? Dear God, how? But I don't know.
Insane.
I digress. So he's got a lot of, and because I think because Doctor Strange, he's so high profile that his villains, like the people he fights, are like world enders.
Oh, absolutely. Because
Like,
those are the only ones like strong enough to do anything against him.
yeah, you can look into some of the stuff of like some of the TV shows kind of go into detail, like not the TV shows purely based on him, but like some of the TV shows kind of give you an indication of like how powerful he is, or they try to like nerf him down, because I mean, here's a list that I think it's interesting because it's like I said, the reason why I like it or find it fascinating is because you go over other, like Batman's villain. If you go outside of like the Joker, you're looking at like Calendar Man.
Stop,
and,
not
like,
Calendar Man.
Yeah, and you can go like Marvel and you can go like Daredevil, and it's like your top villain is Kingpin. Still like a cool villain. And, yeah. But at the end of the day, I mean, Thor could come down and hit him with his hammer once, and Kingpin's head would blow off.
Right.
So there's a pecking order. And Doctor Strange, so the number 10 villain for him is a demon called Satanish.
Yeah, that is when Marvel decided they wanted to introduce Satan, but couldn't put the word Satan in it.
Yeah.
So it's Satanish.
So essentially Satan.
It's Satan.
9 Loki, which, I mean, Loki can relatively go one-on-one with Thor.
Right.
Umar, which is a Dark Lord who's made of pure magic. Kalu, who's obviously the guy who uses mind control. Baron Mordo, who's a sorcerer who made his debut, and ironically, issue 111 of Strange Tales.
Yeah.
It was like the two of them were training under the ancient. It was the classic two guys train under one master.
It's the same thing in the movie too.
Yeah.
Where they were training together, and then he was like, "Bye."
Yeah. So he's supposed to be like directly on par. Which I feel like the movie didn't do a good job showcasing that.
No.
Like.
Not at all.
It kind of puts it as like, oh, he's just way better, and like in the comics, he's supposed to be like on par with Doctor Strange. Nightmare, who's a Fear Lord. Mephisto, who's a demonic entity. Doctor Doom, which, I mean, Doctor Doom can kick the Fantastic Four's butt by himself.
Right.
Dormammu, who is literally the dark chaos god, essentially. And Shuma Gorath, who is an elder god.
Yes.
An omnipotent god.
Yes, because in Marvel Universe, there were the Elder Gods.
Yeah.
Which are the original ones. And then the secondary gods are the ones that are like Odin, Zeus.
Yeah.
So they're more powerful than like the gods we know today.
Right, yeah. And so that's his number one villain, is like essentially just the god of the original universe before Odin came around and mucked everything up.
Yeah. Tends to do that.
But I don't know, there's, again, so that's just the top villains, but I mean, I love him in the movies. I think my problem when I've tried reading his comics is probably why the comic book sales have never been that great, and that it's just like this. It's, I said, it's almost boring because it's the same reason why I can't read Superman, because there's no suspense. It's, oh no, this evil entity is attacking the city. Don't worry, guys. Time manipulation. It never happened. And you're like, all right, well, shit. Okay, what about this guy? Like, unless you introduce the same, like, one of those villains from that list, but even then, like, there's no real losses to the record. I mean, I know he's had losses and he's gone through. I mean, it's comics. He's gone through terrible things and stuff. But I don't know. To me, there's not enough. There's not enough doubt in me that he's going to lose a fight.
Right.
I guess.
Right. And his comic sales did start doing better after his nerf originally, way back when, and then they started doing better again after the first Doctor Strange movie came out like 5 years ago.
It's got to be longer than that.
I don't remember the year Doctor Strange came out. Hold on.
Yeah, let's say it's got to be because there was such a delay after the first one that it's got to be a decent amount of time before.
2016.
Yeah, so 6.
Well, I was close.
Well, I mean, we're just into 2022, so I mean, you could argue like 5 1/4.
5 and like
I guess
some change.
Yeah, 5 and some change, essentially.
Like, all right, good. I'm glad I was right.
Well, yeah. But
So,
I don't know.
do you want to make some predictions on Doctor Strange 2? Based on
We
the history
can.
we learned? How well do you think the movie's going to go? Did you, I know you don't like to watch trailers, but at the end of, what was the last movie that just came out? Eternals. They had, like, that trailer at the end of Eternals.
Oh, I still have not seen Eternals.
Oh my.
I know. I've been meaning to.
It is free on Disney Plus.
It is,
You
and
have
which I do. I do
no
have it.
excuse.
It's
Okay.
yeah. But
Well, there goes my plans.
but people have already told me the stuff with Black Knight and all that.
Well, that was one trailer. Like, that was one end credit. The second end credit for Eternals was literally just the trailer for the Doctor Strange 2 movie.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, it was the same thing with Spider-Man. There was
it
the
Spider-Man?
one. Yeah,
Maybe it was
Spider-Man had the
Okay.
one post-credit scene, and then the next thing was literally was legit just a movie trailer.
I knew one of the two movies that just came out had it.
Yeah, but that's almost knowing. Like that's like being like, man, I almost re-put the pin in that grenade on time. You know, like, man,
Oh,
I
man.
almost got that hole in one. You know, there's.
I'm almost gonna come beat you up.
Yeah, see, like it's not the same. You know, it's
What?
like.
Ever.
You know,
I know more than you.
According to the audio log, not so much, but
Okay, sure, whatever.
I'll
go.
I don't. So, but yeah, I know stuff. I don't. Do I think? I mean, are you asking? Do I think Black Knight's gonna pop up in Doctor
No.
Strange? No.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
because I don't know. Because I don't think so. Because that wouldn't make any sense. 'Cause I feel like. Mind you, you can't do a movie. I know, obviously, they're going to introduce Black Knight. I don't think Doctor Strange is the right movie for it. I think you need more of like a cookie cutter movie to make the introduction. Like he would honestly, even though he's not going to introduce in this movie because there's been no rumor that he would. But Ant-Man 3 would be a good movie introducing him because they're doing Kang the Conqueror,
Right.
who's really like a top Marvel villain, and Black Knight in a more comedy serious movie would be a good introduction. Even though he's not a comedy character, you need to give him something that he can pull focus away from. Like if you want someone to get attention, you can put him in a movie with Ant-Man and Paul Rudd will get the attention back, but you can forego the funny of it for a minute and focus on a serious character. But if you put him with Doctor Strange, with like the multiverse of madness, and you're introducing all this other stuff, and then you try to throw in Black Knight for 5 minutes,
Yeah, no.
it's just not going to work.
I don't think we're going to be getting very new characters at all in Doctor Strange 2. We'll see.
I think we're just going to get different versions of people we've already seen.
Yeah, no, I don't anticipate them going, oh, and here's this new guy, and you look and you're like, who the fuck is
Yeah,
this?
I don't think people quite like. People are like, oh, it's the multiverse. We're going to see all these people, and I'm like, I don't think people quite realize how expensive it is to, like, if they don't have, like, to introduce somebody brand new into a movie.
Right.
Because there's been so many different things, they don't have rights to everybody.
No.
Sometimes they have to go out and buy it. I mean, look at the Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah,
they have to work with they have to work with Sony every time to make a deal come true. I mean, Marvel's got enough where there's plenty of people to introduce.
Right.
But I know, but I don't think we're gonna get anybody. I mean, maybe some new people, but they'll be like minor people. It won't be like anyone
Nothing
major.
too drastic.
Yeah, because they've already shown. Because I was paying attention at the end of Spider-Man, thinking it was going to be another trailer or like some sort of teaser for something, and then it was just a trailer for Doctor Strange. So I was like, "Damn it, I'm already in the theater, and like I can't leave."
Damn
so
it!
Now I gotta watch it.
Exactly, because I know how you feel about watching trailers.
Yeah, so they're doing the dark Doctor Strange, like the guy from What If, essentially. Which I know he's not from What If; it's an actual thing.
Yeah,
because there's so many different Earths. There's literally Doctor Strange in every variety possible, but
But I enjoyed the fact that it is the one that looks almost exactly like the one in What If.
Right, I think,
and it
yeah. Well,
pulls
it's
that
smart
into
on their,
canon.
yeah, it's smart on their
Yeah.
part to capitalize on the popularity of What If versus try to go with what a different look from a comic or whatever it might, probably a comic or whatever. Like it's smart to change it based on What If because What If is like one of the more popular things going on right now.
Oh yeah, no, I enjoy that immensely.
Yeah.
Truly.
And so I think we're just gonna get different versions. So like I think we're gonna get a version of Scarlet Witch where she like isn't like married dating to Vision.
What if we got zombie Scarlet Witch?
That'd be awesome.
I'd
But
be
zombie
like,
Scarlet Witch is just as dumb as regular Scarlet Witch.
Oh my god, I can't believe
So
you said
that's
that.
that's not much an improvement. I mean,
How dare you?
one, I just don't like Elizabeth Olsen.
How dare you?
I also just don't like Scarlet Witch as a character because
Hey.
it's too randomly overpowered. Like the rest of them, most of the people that are overpowered, it relatively makes sense. Like Doctor Strange, right? Trained as Sorcerer Supreme. Superman came from Krypton on a planet where the sun gives him his power. Scarlet Witch is just like, I had experiments done on me, and well, here you go.
So, wait, hold on. Now that we've completely sidetracked by everything we've talked about, do you just not like MCU Scarlet Witch or just in general Scarlet Witch?
Like, I feel like the MCU Scarlet Witch has ruined Scarlet Witch because I didn't really know much about her at all until the movies, and then I was like, this chick's dumb. Like, she's acting dumb. Everything she does is dumb. She's constantly making dumb mistakes. Like, and then I started reading the comic stuff, and I'm like, she caused the House of M because she had a mental breakdown and eliminated 90% of mutants.
Well, it's
And I'm
because
like,
everybody kept treating her like she was a villain when she wasn't. They
she
were just
clearly
afraid of her.
was. She clearly is a villain.
I mean, okay, for the small part that she was in, the Brotherhood of Evil,
it's just
outweighed by every other good thing that she done by being a part of the Avengers and everything.
yeah, okay, but so
I'm
like
throwing hands with you the next time I see you.
again, it just she's born with this power, and
Don't
then
air quote me.
like, and then what? Like that, like it, like again, like everyone else when they're that powerful, there's like a reason for it. Like, oh, they were born with it, but that's because their parent is this, or like
she's a mutant.
yeah, but again, like out of nowhere, every other mutant, like you already have all these mutants that are like considered like top tier mutants, but like they have these like limits, like where it makes sense. You know, Professor X, if he had full range of his powers, is said to be able to do untold things, but he's got all these things, Magneto, blah blah blah. Like they've all got their little crutches, and they were like, let's just make her all powerful, and then her crutch doesn't affect her power at all, so she can just still do whatever she wants, and no one can stop her. It's just now she's crazy and unstoppable instead of just unstoppable. Like, and that's where I just is like, there's no. It's the same thing with kind of Doctor Strange, where they're like, there's almost no crutch, but with her, it's just stupid. Like I said, I feel like MCU ruined her because I'm just not an Elizabeth Olsen fan. I just don't think she's a good actress. Like, I don't think she's terrible. I just think she's average, you know, as an actress.
I'm gonna have to tell my sister not to listen to this episode. She's like the biggest Scarlet Witch fan, and she's gonna hate you.
I just don't. I'm just not a fan of Scarlet
All right.
Witch. There's people that I hate more. Definitely. But like something would have to change. Like, because even what if just made me hate her even more
because she was a zombie.
She's a zombie still obsessed with the android, but the rest of them are all zombies who are just regular zombies, right? They still have their powers and stuff.
I want to tell you something.
I'm so sorry, everybody, for
They
how
still
this is
have-
derailing.
Yeah, I know. I'll move on. But they still have all their powers and stuff. But then for some reason, her zombie is still obsessed with Vision. And I was like, I'm sorry. The rest of them are just regular zombies and are eating people. But yet somehow she has this innate need to please Vision, even though the rest of them don't get to maintain this sense of self. Like, why are we giving this to her but nobody else? Like, again, it's just dumb.
All right. We're moving on now. What else about Doctor Strange do you want to talk about, Mark?
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I think we're like I said. I think when it comes down to it, we're just gonna get different versions of characters that we've already seen. I'm gonna squash the rumor. I saw some rumor that people were like, I wonder if Spider-Man's gonna be in it, and I was like, no. Why?
They don't have rights for that.
Why would they throw Spider-Man in Doctor Strange when they literally just had Spider-Man break
The world.
like Earth? Yeah, like the memory of Earth. He just literally broke Earth.
Right.
Why
don't
would you
need
then
him
throw him?
touching
Yeah, why would you then
anything
throw him into the multiverse?
To fuck it up some more because he's 12.
Yeah. So I don't think we're getting any big reveals outside of maybe a couple a couple big surprises in terms of like, I don't know, but it's going to be a good movie. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I just hope that they actually stick to like the whole multiverse aspect of it and they don't delve into, again, my worry is that because Scarlet Witch was in it, because she's in it, which again, I was not a fan of when they announced it because it was like kind of out of the blue. It was all of a sudden like, because it was way before her TV show that they announced that she was going to be in the next Doctor Strange movie. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, what, why? So I know there's going to be some part of the movie that has to deal with her and Vision because duh. Like they're going to dive into it. I just hope that it's a minor part of the story. Because it's supposed to be about Doctor Strange and the multiverse breaking and the other guy finally coming back and fighting with Doctor Strange. Like that's supposed to be the main focus, not her love story part 3. So I know they're gonna introduce something where they're gonna be fighting or they're gonna be doing something cinematic, and all of a sudden a laser blast is gonna come out and save them, and she's gonna look up, and it's gonna be a slightly different vision from a different Earth that saved them, and it's gonna be this whole thing. And I just hope that it's that, and they move on.
No, because I'm thinking, I never really gave that bit much thought.
But you know they're going to.
Right, but my thought of what they were gonna do for her was her kids at the end credit scene of the last episode of WandaVision.
Right.
Was her kids calling out to her.
While
she was like meditating. So that's what I think is happening in the Doctor Strange movie. Something of that source is while she is simultaneously trying to help Doctor Strange fix whatever the fuck they're doing,
right,
she's also like simultaneously trying to like find her kids after she heard them call out to her.
Yeah,
that was my thought. I didn't really think anything of Vision because I figured we were done with that now. Hopefully.
Yeah, but that's my honest thought is he's gonna pop in.
Well, maybe.
Like, I just think it. Oh, excuse me. I just think it makes sense to introduce him in some way.
We'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, her kids, I can definitely see that. I don't know what else really you would do. Because you can't, you're moving on from like all the stone. I don't know, maybe you could introduce the demons in some way. Maybe this is where they introduce the demons popping in some weird
gods,
way.
Maybe.
Yeah, you could introduce the elder god, at least like maybe like a minor one if you wanted to try to like squeeze it out a little bit.
Build something up for future use.
Learn from that, Justice League.
What? Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's going to be a great movie and I'm looking forward to it because it comes out. Let me relook that up. I'm blanking. It's soon.
March? That's my guess. All right.
I will tell you.
Oh, I'm quaking.
Why is it? May 6th.
Damn, is the M month. Fuck.
Yeah, May 6th, because it was supposed to come out sooner, and Thor: Love and Thunder was supposed to come out May 6th, but then they pushed both of them back. And Doctor Strange went to May 6th, and Thor: Love and Thunder went to July 8th.
We haven't seen anything about Thor: Love and Thunder.
Either have I, which does make sense because Marvel is usually pretty like wait till one movie's done and then the day after start releasing stuff.
I know, but I'm like, give me something.
Yeah. Yeah, that one will be good. We'll definitely be talking, and we'll do a review of Doctor Strange after it.
Are you gonna watch it?
After it comes out? Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
Part 2, yeah.
Well, thank God.
I'll probably take Cameron into the theaters to see it because he sat through Spider-Man. So I mean, you know, with a little, you know, issues here and there, but I mean, he didn't cry or yell or anything. So I mean, he made it through Spider-Man. I think he can make it through Doctor Strange. He told me he wants to go see the new Batman movie, and I was like, I don't know.
Maybe Dad should go see it first.
Maybe Dad should see what it's like because they said PG-13, but because we went to get pizza yesterday and they have the pizza boxes all Gotham City.
Where did you get pizza from?
Little Caesars. That's the pizza boxes right now. Is like Gotham City with like the light, and then it says new Batman coming out 2022.
I love that for Little Caesars.
Yeah, like pop off, guys.
Yeah, my God. No,
but
I will be willingly go see because as people have already know by now that I don't like DC. I will willingly go see the new Batman movie for Robert Pattinson exclusively.
I'm just excited to see that one because it's finally a different take on Batman.
And then we can do a review with my honest opinion of a DC hater.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So let's rate Doctor Strange. we need to wrap up.
Only a little bit.
2 ratings. 1 personal, and then 1 like where he is in his own universe. Mm-hmm. And then just 1 through 10.
Okay. Personally, I give him like a 7.5, 8, kind of in that general area out of 10.
Okay.
Personally. What about you?
Yeah, 7.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stuff I like. There's stuff that kind of just gets boring, but
yeah.
Him in his own universe, you got to go with what's smart. You got to go 10 out of 10.
Right. Technically.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Like in terms of where he fits in the Marvel hierarchy of people, it's 10 out of 10.
Top tier content. Well, not content, but his powers and everything. Yeah, that's a God, and then him.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's how that goes.
Yeah. So, if those of you that are listening, my recommendation, if you're looking to get into a Doctor Strange comic, a good way to start would be what I mentioned earlier. Go to like Secret Wars or World War Hulk, stuff that'll introduce you more to the Marvel Cinematic Universe that Doctor Strange is in and plays big parts in. Or you can go back to the most recent run and read from there. But I would pick like a specific event that happened in Marvel Comics that he played a huge part in, and then read that would be my recommendation.
Well, in one of the newer runs, I think within the past couple of years, Doctor Strange, his original ones, they gave him an axe.
Nice.
And I think that's funny. That this magical man got an axe.
All right, well.
It's just me.
Yeah, okay. Well, on that note, that'll also probably be the same fandom experience will be to just like, mind you, because they're just good runs anyway, go out and read like Secret Wars or World War Hulk, because World War Hulk is insane. So my little experience for you guys this week is going to be to try to go out and read World War Hulk. That's going to be about it. I mean, I'm finally reading more Marvel comics. I finally picked up some Shang-Chi.
Thank God. I was there.
In the Ten Ring. Yeah, you were there.
Yeah.
You were there.
We were in person.
Stay tuned for all that fun stuff that's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
And with that, everyone, because I need to get going to eat dinner and play D&D.
And
But
my niece is in town.
yeah, so we're going to end it on this episode of the Phantom Effect, but just remember that if you made it this far, to just review and subscribe because it does help out. And if you want to check out pretty much everything, you can just go to our Facebook page. So just go to facebook.com/Phantom Effect. And then pretty much from there, you can find links to the podcast, which is on every major platform and everything else.
Yep.
So stay tuned for that. A lot of big changes coming. We're actually finally working on some stuff. So stay tuned for all that stuff. A new episode every Wednesday. And don't forget that this Thursday live, the Fan Effect will be part of doing a Royal Rumble special again that we did last year. And we'll be doing it again this year. And that episode will air on Friday, but you can catch it live Thursday on my Twitch. At twitch.tv/BushidoGeek. You can catch that show live on Twitch, but we'll upload it to YouTube later as well. I'll just say bye.